I'm in a place I wanna be. I'm fighting things no one can see. Why are they
Well,
still-
yeah, you gotta pour a third one for the incoming guest. Yes.
So, secondly, remember, disclaimer, we're not professionals.
No, we're not professionals. Well, yes. In 2 days. 2 days, I will be professional.
And so we want to make sure that you guys, we're learning here with you. We want you to check in with your doctor or your health professional before you start any type of workout plan, diet, exercise, all that good stuff.
Yep.
Make sure you're healthy enough to do what you want to do, and don't hurt yourselves.
No,
Do it the
that's
right
our goal here is to make people healthy and to educate people and to help everybody get to a better place. Because like we always say, this is a very long distance event. Life's not a short distance event. And Jeff, how was your week?
It was good. I had a good week.
Yeah, where's your weight? How's your weight? What's going on with the weight?
I'm down to 267.
That's almost
Which is
20 pounds.
Almost 18. Yeah, 18
pounds.
pounds down. Feeling good. We had a couple of great workouts at some local gyms that you're going to be seeing on the Thursday weekly workout series.
Yep.
Awesome. They kicked my butt, and it was definitely.
Yeah, Jeff was sore for a few days after the last one.
I could barely walk yesterday. It was awesome.
So that was. There we go. Making sure I could follow along with all the comments. Yeah, Jeff was hurting after the last one we did. It was we did two. We did 2 in a row.
2 in a row. Yeah.
And Jeff's not used to doing 2 in a row.
Bear crawls are the enemy.
Yes, and that was the thing is we did bear crawls twice in 2 days straight. Well, here's to 18 pounds now. That's 50, it was 15 last week, so it's at least another 3 down.
In there.
There's that. Oh, that's good.
That is good.
This week, we have a good friend of ours. I see him every day. He watches me destroy myself at his facility. He's seen you there as well.
Yep.
And he'll walk by me in the hall sometime and just look at me and shake his head because I'm probably not your average gym goer at the facility that he works at. But he is one of the lead trainers, and he is a certified personal trainer, and he is a hell of an athlete and a really good guy. We want to welcome Manny Chery to the show.
Hello.
What's going on, man?
Not much.
Welcome.
How you doing, man?
Thanks for being here, man.
You get to take the point.
Oh yeah.
Thank you very much.
Right in the middle.
How's you guys doing over there?
First off, we start by doing that to you.
Oh, thank you. I'm gonna pass. I'm gonna cheers you on real
We
quick.
will.
Cheers. There we go. All right.
Cheers.
Oh, are you passing
Welcome
on
to
it?
the show.
Uh-huh.
I am gonna pass today.
Is it a workout thing or it is a?
I just finished working out. So.
Did you?
Gotcha.
Okay. See?
I'm just gonna-
See, these are things.
you go.
We'll just split his wine later. That's why I work out in the morning, so I can drink wine at night.
Yes, that works too. How you guys doing?
Good,
Doing
man.
great,
Good.
doing great. So, real quickly, we want to get into cooking. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, what you do.
Okay. Well, I started off as a personal trainer myself. About 2 years now that I've been a personal trainer. A lot of different clients that come by, a lot of different members in general that we are seeking to help out. With that being said, I am a person that likes to motivate a lot of people in a lot of different ways. A lot of people do different motivational speeches and everything like that. For me, myself, as long as you're coming into our facility, you're here to work and you're here to be positive and make it a positive day. So I'm here to help you. And that's basically what I do, and that's basically what I seek for everybody.
That's awesome.
I love that.
Thank you very much.
We are going to jump right into cooking because we got some stuff to do. Today, we're eating chicken parmesan, but we're eating a healthy chicken parmesan.
Yes.
So what we're doing is we have some very nice fresh chicken. Throw it up, whoop, and I'll hit that.
Are we gonna make
Throw it
chicken
there.
sushi today?
No, we're not making sushi. In fact, we're just going to bake this chicken. So what we're doing is we're going to bake the chicken instead of frying it. Even though, you've seen us fry things on the show, we use a little bit of olive oil, and we try to stay healthy about it. But today, we're going to bake the chicken. And it's going to be a really simple, about 15, 20-minute bake, about 5, 10 minutes each side. And then for the pasta, since we do try to be healthy here on the show, we will be spiralizing some zucchini to make as the pasta.
Nice.
I've never spiralized a zucchini before.
We have the Fit Show Spiralizer.
the fish spiralizer.
For a sauce, because I wanted to keep it local and I wanted to keep it healthy, we have a restaurant in the area called Johnny Macaroni's. So we're using Johnny Macaroni's sauce. It's their marinara sauce, but no sugar added, gluten-free, low salt.
Talking my language right
So
there. Yeah.
you've got just a really nice marinara without all the bad things in it, and locally sourced, locally made, locally packaged. We like these guys. And then we have some nice mozzarella, low-fat mozzarella that we're gonna top the chicken with. And then I've got 3 lovely cheeses that we can partake in if we would like for a little bit of grating on top. We
I'm
have
just
some
gonna go like
Romano.
this. I'm just gonna take the whole block and
Did
pop
you
it
put it
right on my plate. This is
Well, we have a Romano, we have an Asiago, and we have a Parmesan that we can grate on top of the dish when it's done. So, I want to get right into the cooking. So, Jeff has been in the midst of losing 60 pounds.
that's the goal. That's the goal.
You're at 18 right now?
I mean,
And he's at 18
getting
right
there,
now.
right?
When did you start?
So we started when I started really when the show started. So this is what our 6th week. In?
Yes, it is.
So 6 weeks, 18 pounds, taking it slow. You know, we had the holiday and I got sick for 1 week, so that kind of slowed me down a little bit.
And then you went on vacation.
Oh, I did go on vacation too. Yeah.
That slowed him down slightly.
Hey, you're still down 18 though.
Yeah.
Through all those challenges.
Exactly. Yeah.
You're keeping up to something.
Yeah. Thanks, man.
Good.
So
Congratulations.
yeah, and I'm just gonna keep going, keep trying to learn as much as I can from talented and knowledgeable professionals like yourself.
Appreciate it.
Now, what we're going to do is just a very light drizzle of olive oil on this to keep the chicken from sticking. And it's a nice, very healthy, clean olive oil. Won't bother the chicken in any way. We are simply going to place the chicken on
Pop it right on there.
and just go right into the oven with it. We're going to season it just a little bit. Some salt, some pepper, some oregano, and some basil.
Nice.
So, Benny, you said you started off as a personal trainer. How'd you get into that?
And having my football career over there, I also was majoring in phys ed with the concentration of exercise science.
Nice.
So after graduating a couple of years ago, I found it suiting to become a health seeker in any situation. I figured personal training would be my best aspect of it. And by doing so, it allowed me to be ready for the test, first of all. It is a hard test. I know you're going through that right now, John.
I have 2 days.
That's
2 days. I gotta
you got it.
after we're done on the show, I have to take the practice test again. Now I have passed my practice test 3 times in a row.
Oh, okay.
So-
for sure.
Yeah, the practice test, from what I understand, is pretty close to the actual test. So.
Yes, it is. And so that allowed me to feel very comfortable to take the test right away. And I did a little bit of studying just to freshen up of what I learned in my freshman and sophomore year.
Right.
Just to make sure I knew everything. And then I took the test and I passed in. And then luckily the Y was offering a job at the time. So I did apply to be a personal trainer over there. And I did get the job. And ever since then, I've been loving what I've been doing for everybody.
Awesome. So that's great. So he's always an athlete your whole life, and just kind of seems like the natural course of things. I love it, man. That's awesome.
With that being said, too, a lot of people, they think, being an athlete is just about strength training.
Right.
I think being an athlete is getting to know your body more than anything. And that's why I can relate to everybody, that's even if they're athletes or not athletes,
Right.
because they want to learn how their body works and how to make the best possible version of their body.
Right.
And that's
right.
what I believe athletes try to do every day, as well as regular people, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm finding that's true. As I'm learning about stuff and I'm talking to more people, that seems like a really cool way to start thinking about things. It's just like listening to your body, knowing what's going on, and being knowledgeable about it.
Yes, exactly. And I think also knowing that you will eventually see the results, even though if you don't see it right away. I mean,
Right.
fortunately for you,
Right.
you are at that 18-pound mark and you're
Right.
seeing it right away, so it gives you motivation to continue on.
Right.
But for the people that it is a slow process, it will eventually work. And every
Right.
little thing that you do for it, it will eventually help you too.
Yeah. So what's your general idea for? I mean, when you're working out, what do you kind of tailor it to specific people, or do you kind of have something you like to stick to, or?
So working out with people or by myself?
I don't know if
That's
you.
the
This
question.
boy is jacked. I see him in the gym in business clothes all the time. And then one day I went in at like 5:30 and I saw him on the floor working out, and I was like, well, all right then.
Me personally, yes, that's the style that I used to do is heavy strength training, especially getting ready for the upcoming season and everything like that. But now that I have graduated, no longer play sports anymore as frequently as I normally did. I am now going into lean mass, which is surprising that you say that to me. I'm trying to go back into lean mass, telling my body that I do not need that large mass that I try to get and develop. I'm more about longevity and making sure that you're able to use your body in every different functional movement that
Right.
you're trying to
Yeah.
do. So it's been a new project to me, myself. I have started a diet myself. I have tackled on that aspect of it, clean eating and everything like that, just to see how my body could react to that to get to lean mass.
For sure. Awesome. So
You should. I know we've talked a few times, but you know that I do the intermittent fasting, and I can't tell you. I can tell you so many things I should say about how great that works.
Yeah.
What it does for your body, the benefits that it has for your body, internally and physically. It's down to a cellular level how good that intermittent fasting will treat your body, especially if you're trying to lean down. It's been fantastic. Jeff, I would like you, sir, since you've never done this before.
I get to spiralize?
Yes. Well, first you're gonna cut. I want you to. Here's what you're gonna do. We're gonna have you. I'll have you do the other one. You're gonna cut the ends off.
Cut off the ends. Got it.
Okay. So then, well, we'll actually keep these over here. Get one more little. I get this little bowl for you to throw them in.
Oh, look at that.
It's a cute little bowl.
We can save them for later.
Now, here's your spiralizer. These are awesome. Take that off. You're basically use this for the end because it gets a little odd. You're just you're gonna take your zucchini, and you're literally just going to.
Spiralize the crap out of it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Look at that.
There you go.
That's pretty cool, man.
Now we're not peeling this today. Now
So
here's
we
the
get some
thing:
color.
every so often, just kind of break it off. Otherwise, you wind up with a 26-foot piece.
That sounds like a nice challenge. I want that.
So, and you'll wind up like that at the
All right.
end. And when you get down toward the end, you can switch to that.
All right. Sounds good. I can spiralize. I can do that. So we
All right, I'm gonna go take care of something real quick. I'll be right back. You guys chat.
okay. So you said for your you said you started a new diet plan to do something different with lean mass. Maybe for somebody that doesn't know the difference between like bulking up and leaning out or mass, how would you describe that?
So bulking out and then leaning out is, it could be intertwined a little bit.
Yeah.
Definitely whatever your preference is and whatever your goal is. For me personally, getting ready to get into football shape is all about bulking up at the point and then trying to run with the mass that you have produced through the off season.
Right.
I do like that style, but waking up in the morning, you feel a little bit heavier than you normally do.
Right.
Everything just becomes a little bit harder because you do have mass that you're carrying on now.
Right.
So the difference, say, for the people that are viewing over here is for lean mass and bulking up is really based on trying to build up your muscle content, your muscle mass. For lean mass, it's about how you can be efficient with your body with some muscle mass. So you're
Right.
not really focused, the main focus is not growing the mass, it's really being more functional movements, lean, to be able to do anything you possibly want to do with your body, basically.
Right. Very cool. So when you get a new client coming into the gym and you start working with them, what's some of the first things that you're going to tell them?
I don't tell them anything. When
No?
I first meet them, they tell me everything.
Okay.
So what I do is when I have someone that is interested in personal training or into their health at all, is I sit down and I have a conversation with them the whole
I'm back.
time. Welcome back.
What do you got there,
I got a
Jeff?
tiny little zucchini pyramid.
Nice. We'll just eat that later.
Yeah, so I basically let them talk and see what they need for their needs and actually figure out what their actual goals are.
How are you with a knife?
I'm all right. I can take care of it.
Take those ends off.
Yep. So, and then after that, we go from there.
Right. I love that. So, do you have from your personal training? I know. Do you try to like kind of push more towards the strength aspect for a lot of people, or do you kind of like? I mean, obviously I'm not a trainer, so I don't know how that all works out. So somebody comes in, they just want to like me, like lose 60 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think my first steps should be?
So we have plenty of members that are coming in for weight loss and everything like that. Your first step is I would want to see what you've been through,
Right.
and what your fitness level is, And then also your history of your fitness level too, because I don't want to make anything new from you guys, because that's how you guys can't keep it consistent.
Right.
Is because it's something that if I just tell you how I would like it to
Right.
be done,
Right.
then all of a sudden it might not be able to withstand for you because it's
Right.
not your normal routine. So the first thing that we will do is sit down and figure out what have you done in the past and what was your success points and what was your weaknesses physically and just throughout your history of being in the fitness realm.
Yeah, that's smart. I think, it can definitely be intimidating when you're starting any kind of new thing. I keep spinning the whole this thing.
You're not just,
You don't wanna do that, no.
You're just the top piece.
So I like that approach of like listening first, and kind of just letting people see.
Just do it again. Pay attention, Lefty. That's why.
Okay.
Should let Manny have a crack at this last one.
Yeah, you want to try it?
Yeah, I think
It's
you
kind of
should.
fun.
You want to set me up first?
It's
What?
Is it easy to set up?
Yeah, you
Put it right in?
put it in and
Kick it
start twisting.
Okay.
There you
Sounds
go.
good to me.
And then you get these nifty little.
Let's have our guests have
Look
fun.
at
So you
these
get to keep those. You can take those home after the show.
Oh, thank you so much.
Lacquer them, put them on a shelf.
Be like,
Yep, just kind of get it in every so often.
Okay.
Once it
Yep.
gets really long, you just break it off.
oh yeah, perfect.
What else were you going with that?
I forget what I was saying. Oh, so
Well, you got to. So when everybody's different. So everybody
Right.
who walks in a gym is going to have a different protocol as far
Right.
as how a trainer approaches them. Part of the assessment as a trainer is to. There's a big questionnaire you go through. There's
Extremely important.
Yeah, extremely important. You have to learn everything they've done, everything they've been through, every injury they've ever had, surgery they've ever had, medication they're on, everything, so that you can tailor a program that's going to be beneficial to them physically and health-wise, that you're not going to damage anything.
Right.
Both muscularly, skeletally, and internally. If they're on a heart medicine, you've got to know that, so you don't
Right.
put them into a workout that's going to overstress that.
Right.
If they've got a bad knee, you've got to know that.
Absolutely.
So there's a whole process that as a trainer you'll go through to pre-screen the client,
Right.
and then from that you'll choose the best protocol you want to take them into training-wise.
Right.
But it's also their goals too. But some people learn that their goals are unrealistic for their physical
Right.
part, and they're going to have to either work towards things slowly or modify a bunch to get there.
Right.
Yeah, and with that being said too, you might have an idea of where their goals are and where they'll end up.
Yeah.
But you want to have a measurable goal for them. So it takes a lot of courage as a trainer to tell them realistically where they are going to end up in the time frame as well, because people will have an idea where they want to be, but at the same time,
Yeah.
they don't really know the process through it and how long it's
Right.
actually going to take.
And we've talked about this, everybody wants things right now in this society these days. And physical fitness isn't a right now. Physical fitness is a journey. It's a long, everybody uses that word and they think it's a cool buzzword, but it really isn't. It is a journey. It's somewhere you're starting point A, and there's a very long, far away point B. And sadly, that point B is the day you leave this planet. And the journey is all of the things you do between then to make that point B take longer to get here.
Right.
You good there?
We're good. We got another little guy.
You guys have spiralized zucchini. You can put that on your resume. Next time you bring a client in, you say, well, you know what I know how to do? I know how to spiralize them now. That will impress them. You don't think that will impress them, but it will impress them. What you got? What do you got there? Something good?
I just love these little things. These little
Oh,
zucchini ends.
yes. The zucchini.
So that's all good information. Coming from somebody who's obviously not a personal trainer, I know that going into a new gym is intimidating just to walk in the door the first time.
Very true.
And I know I've done in the past some of when they do like an assessment.
Yeah.
And that's intimidating. You go in, you're like, man, the last one that I did, I went in and I mustered up the courage to go in and talk to the trainer, and I knew I was out of shape, but going through that assessment was like,
It was a wake-up call.
It was a wake up call.
Yep.
It was like, wow, I'm really out of shape.
We say this a lot too. It's the time where you got to have that honest conversation with
Right.
yourself.
Right.
There's a moment where you want to make a decision in life, and you've got to be honest about making that decision.
Right.
And sitting there making that assessment with somebody else telling you where your new limits are
Right.
is a moment like that.
Yeah.
So what I was going to say is, it's intimidating to take those steps, but and I've never actually worked out with a personal trainer. But now talking to you, I'm like, oh wow, you say it out loud, it sounds obvious, but these people are here to help you. This is what you do, you know. And so, even though it seems intimidating, I mean, everything that you've said so far seems like, wow, like why have I not tried this before? You know, you're here to help. You're here to be a support system, and
Exactly.
and yeah. So that sounds great. I think everybody should try.
Do you know what the best part for you is? Well, after Wednesday, you get to work out with a personal trainer every day. Yes.
And I also get to spiralize zucchini.
Once a week, you get to
you're out.
spiralize zucchini.
Look at this makes all kinds of fun little things. Like this is. Oh man.
You should juggle those.
Just to go off that, Jeff, of being a little bit intimidated, we do know people that come to the door are very intimidated.
Right.
And I think just off of what we was talking about before, of coming down and just letting them express what they're going through and
Right.
everything like that, and just having that time to sit back and listen to them and just say, hey, I hear you so much, and as soon as I get all the information, I'm here to help you.
Awesome.
And I think that allows them to feel a little bit better than telling them, we need to work on this, we need to work on
Right,
that, we need to work
right,
on this.
right.
Because then it seems like a very, very long journey right away.
Right.
You know?
Exactly.
Baby steps is definitely the way to go, and accomplishing little factors and
Yep.
recognizing and acknowledging that they are accomplished stuff. Like you're 18 pound right now.
Right.
I know that's not where you want to be yet, but that
Right.
is on the right stepping stone right there.
Yeah,
So-
definitely.
And recognize that it takes hard work to get there. Too.
That's
Yep.
we say that a lot too. One thing.
Yep.
Take one step, make one small change every week. One change leads to another change leads to a big change.
Yes, and then with weight loss, it's commitment. It is a huge commitment, but also that one step thing that you're talking about, Jeff, is basically one step with nutrition, one step with fitness.
Right.
And you're just connecting those two pieces and challenge yourself each week. Add on another good piece to it. That's how you get it. I'm sure you're doing that right now.
I'm trying. I'm trying to learn a little bit at a time. You know, I've found that I started reading some articles and just learning a lot. I'm trying to learn as much as I can because I find that it helps me to not get discouraged when something doesn't go right because I understand why it's happening and talking to people like yourself and meeting all these gym owners and stuff has been really cool, man, to see like how much support there is out there and how much there is to learn, and like it's just it's great, man. I'm loving it. So
Yeah.
I feel like you guys should give it a shot. If you get out there and learn some stuff, read some articles, talk to a personal trainer, because it really does make the whole thing easier too when you kind of know what's going on.
Yes, and then just working with personal trainers, just picking their brain, trying to get the knowledge from it too. I know a lot of people have a great concept of exercise in their head, and they're probably on the right path. They're probably missing one little thing that just brings it all to full circle, and that's what personal trainers are there for. Is to just tell you maybe even switching up an angle or maybe just switching up your time of what you're doing it might make a huge difference for you. So just even reaching out to any of your local trainers and just asking them, hey, am I doing this correctly? Is this the right path for me? And then just having that background knowledge to know that you're doing something and that you're not continuing on. Because if you go on day by day, week by week, and you're doing the right thing that you think you're doing, you might be just backtracking week by week, day by day, or just slowly chiseling at it when you could just pull out a big chunk real quick by doing the right stuff and knowing that you're in the right path to push it through.
Right.
And it's a difference too between, say, being a trainer and being a coach. It's a
Yes.
very different mentality from coaching to training. Like a sports team coach is going to be a lot more, should I say, a lot less coddling than a trainer will. A trainer is really going to have your best interest at heart, not just a W.
Right. Right.
Everything can be a W for a trainer. You know,
Right.
one push-up for a client, one new client who's just coming off a couch, who you got to do their first push-up. That's a win. That's a big W.
Right.
So it's a lot more of a gentle touch as a trainer than it is like as a coach.
Correct. And
So-
I would say that was the best thing I actually got from Bridgewater State was the coaching staff over there. Were extremely amazing to make sure that anything, of course, they want you to build up your mass, build up your strength and everything like that, getting ready for the season, but they want you to do it in the correct manner.
Right.
They don't want you to be hurt. They don't want you to be injured. They don't want you doing anything improperly.
Right.
So they actually was a little bit of a blend of a coach and a trainer at the same time.
Well, that's
because
good to hear.
they did tell you the skill, but then they also told you that some days that you're not doing the proper form, we're going to bring you back a little bit to make sure that you're doing it correctly. Then you could continue on.
Right.
So they definitely had some good coaching points, but some good trainer points as well.
Jeff, I'm
which
going to leave those there for you.
I like these.
which allowed me to transition myself into a trainer because I did have a little bit of a trainer behind me with the coaches.
Right.
So it was a great job with that by them.
These things are just so funny. I don't know why I love these things so much. I think
You should wear them. You can make little horns out of them. You can make the yep. Yeah. See, see, it's wonderful.
they're like kind of nice. They're a little slimy.
All right, now you're getting weird. You were fine right up until there. Oh, look at that. Oh, now you dropped them. Now you can't eat them.
The pressure.
Now you can't eat them anymore.
Oh man. Yeah, so if you guys at home, we want you to give us your comments if you have questions for us or for Manny about personal training or about your gym regimen or whatever. Let us know. We would love to hear from you.
Please. I'll try to answer the best possible way I can, and give you the best advice without knowing you guys too much.
Right.
Exactly.
So what do you got? What's next for you? Like you got you're leaning down.
Yeah.
What you got? Is there a specific goal you're working toward? Are you doing like any competitions, or was it just for fun? Like you just, I don't feel like being Mr. Atlas bulky anymore. I'm going to tone down as something smaller. Like
Yeah. So just.
I'm going to say you were a linebacker, right?
Yeah.
So that's
Outside
that's why-
linebacker, I had to put on a good amount of mass to make sure that
Yeah.
I was able to withstand a hit and take a hit.
Guys like him
And
used to put me in the
a hit on.
hospital a lot.
It's not a friendly one. It's definitely a little bit more. But yeah, moving on now, I just believe waking up in the morning and feeling so heavy and then just going through that process. I think lean mass. I'm about longevity now. And when I look at
What were you at your biggest, like 210?
200, to be honest.
Yeah.
I might have looked like I was 210, 220, but I was just 200 pounds. And it took a lot of working out hard and a lot of good eating to make sure that I could withstand that mass because my body's not used to that. I have a fast metabolism at that point.
Yeah.
So, so I'm about down to 175 now.
There you go.
Pretty lean. I'm trying to get to more of a lower body fat percentage. I'm not sure exactly where I am right now.
Choose machine.
I do use the machine,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it depends on your best day on the machine, as you know.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get to more measurements, more accurate measurements at that point. But no goals really in mind. I train a lot of people in a lot of different styles. So one of my biggest goals that I make sure that I keep up with is to keep up with my clients at that point. To be honest, I make them I make them do a lot of things and a lot of different things, and I never want them to call me out and say, "Hey, you can't even do that."
Right.
So it took a lot of learning. I even picked up running at one point too, just because I felt like just being someone that is anaerobic and just quick burst person, I'm not good at long distance running.
Yeah, you and I have talked about that.
Yeah, so I told myself, well, just like everybody else, why do I say I can't,
Yeah.
So I took it on this summer and started running, and I loved it. Definitely still going to continue running. I got up to about 11 miles, which is a big.
Wow, that's a
on
good
my
score,
own. That
yeah.
I know that is huge. I just trucked along. I have a strong mentality of saying every day you're going to try to get better. So every morning I used to wake up in the summer and run and just try to push forward to it. And I just want to be the trainer that I perceive myself to be with everybody else and everybody loves. I want to be that for myself too, so I never want
gotta
to
be.
forget about that as well.
You got to be.
That's really cool. One of my goals is, so I'm definitely not an endurance guy. So
Yet.
and never.
Not yet.
Well, even when I was in the best shape of my life.
You haven't been in the best shape of your life.
I was.
Not yet.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Plenty of time.
So when I was in better shape and I was working out a lot, I was like you said, that like burst kind of thing. I was definitely more about like sprints and lifting heavy weights. But never have been a runner. So one of my goals, bucket list goals, I guess you could say, would be to do like even just like a 5K or like I would really want to do a short triathlon.
Oh, that's awesome.
Then what is
goal.
it? A sprint they call it?
Yep.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You've come to the right place.
Yeah. So I'm just mostly because like I hate running. I hate it. So what kind of? I know both of you guys now run, right? So what kind of advice for if I want to start running? I don't want to.
Walk.
I don't want to do it. but I
Start
should.
walking every day.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Every day. Just walk every day, and then little by little incorporate 20 seconds of running,
Yeah.
30 seconds of running, 40 seconds. Next thing you know, you'll just be running.
Well, yeah, that's the way I tell everybody to do everything. It's just get in there. And you're only going to be good at running if you run. So just start running, and whatever pace, exactly what you're saying right there, John. Whatever pace that you do it at, just do it at that pace, and just try to build off of that.
Yeah.
And especially running, it's not easy at all. So if you are just walking at the moment, challenge yourself to run just for whatever burst of time that you have, or feel like you're capable of. So if it is that 10 seconds or 20-second burst, do it real quick, then take your breather, calm yourself back down, and then try one more time if you can. If you cannot, that's good for the day, and then try to be better the next day.
Right.
And eventually you will, like you said,
Yeah.
eventually pick it back up.
Advice I give anybody starting to run: go to a running store and get fitted. In other words, go to Bay State Runners,
Right.
and don't go to Walmart and buy sneakers. Go to Bay State Runners. Let them evaluate your run. They'll film you running, evaluate your gait, tell you exactly what kind of shoes you should be in, lay out a bunch of different brands for you to try, and then they'll let you try them all, and you'll tell them which one is the one. But there is a big difference, and people, I've had this discussion with people online. People, a sneaker's a sneaker. Well, a sneaker's not a sneaker, and there is a difference between a $50 sneaker and a $90 sneaker, $100 sneaker, $120 sneaker. There's difference in construction, difference in what they make them out of. Difference in support, difference in the upper, the mid, the lower. Everything about the sneaker can be different from $50 to $100. Go find the right shoe so that the longevity of running will be comfortable for you, because you'll stop running if it hurts.
Right.
If you got the wrong shoes, it's going to hurt.
So don't run in my Chucks or my Sperry's.
I
would not advise that.
Oh, no, they
I would not
did. They
advise
did.
that.
All through the 50s, they were running distance. You were in high school track in your Chucks, your high top Chucks, man. And that's why all those old guys have bad knees now.
It does correlate to knee problems and everything like that with bad shoes. So I will take that advice, John, and say get some new shoes.
Yeah.
Don't care about it, and just know that you invested in something that you're gonna pay forward. So you know that if you bought shoes now, you got to go out there and go run. Exactly. So go use them at that point. A little bit more motivation at that time. And I think running, as much as I did not like it, it is the most best accomplishment that I have done.
Yeah.
To be honest, not like it's up there. To be honest, because you feel better every single time that you accomplish something.
Right,
And
right.
running is something that, once you say, hey, I used to only do this amount of miles, now I do that amount, and just seeing your progress very quickly.
Yeah.
That's what running does, is
Yep.
you can see your progress very, very quickly, and it allows you to be more into it.
Yeah. I hear people say things like, I ran 11 miles, and to me that sounds like insanity. I can't even imagine running 11 miles.
Well, I put on a good album and then just go. And then I always just put into perspective, running was terrible when I started.
Right.
Yeah.
Awful. And everybody always says there's a runner's high, and I'm like, no, there isn't.
There is.
This thing is terrible.
There's an endorphin kick when you hit a certain point, when you find a stride. There's times, I know for me, I'll be running, and I just hit a stride.
It does.
I hit the stride where everything is clicking.
Yeah.
And you're just not even really running anymore. You're just moving.
Correct.
And all of a sudden, you're just like, oh, I could do this forever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. I have hit the runner's high.
Yeah.
And I knew I was because I wasn't thinking about running.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you mentioned, John.
Yep.
Is exactly how I felt was I wasn't thinking about running. I was just moving. At that point, I really felt like I was gliding at one point because running was very, very physical, demand on me of running. And then eventually I hit the runner's high, and I'm like, this right here is the most peaceful thing.
Yep.
And I feel like I could go for days and hours. Obviously,
Really?
eventually you get out of that runner's high and you're like, oh, God.
Yeah, but while
at
you're
the
there,
moment, while you're there, nothing could stop you at that moment. It's just cruising along, especially if you have a good album or whatever you have playing on. I'm just listening to music and moving. It was really, really good. So,
Yeah, I didn't know that.
There is.
Learning new things all the time.
runner's high is.
Every time I'm running, all I'm thinking about is when I can stop.
Oh, yeah. No, I hear it. So once you do get that point, it does get a little bit more of the endorphins kick in, and that's when you start to feel really, really comfortable running. So
I think that could be another goal, right? Try to hit that.
it helps you with weight loss too. So I do tell a lot of people is do it the right way, figure out your body and everything like that. But once you hit a certain amount of weight loss, running is one of the best things to pick up because then you know you are getting that high intensity. You know you are expending a lot of energy running. So it helps you kind of maybe get out of a plateau or also help spark something even if you wasn't even in a plateau.
Right. There's another good topic. So let's say when you do hit a plateau, right? Because I know that's something that happens to everybody along the way. What's a general, like you said, switch it up, or what do you tell people?
So if you hit a plateau, you really got to look within and just see really what have you been doing, and have you So a couple of questions that I always ask if someone's in a plateau phase or really feel like they're in a little slump is how consistent have you been? That's my number one question that I ask everybody first is how consistent have you been? Because maybe what you have been doing is the correct way, but you haven't been so consistent. And you're maybe in the beginning, the initial shock, you felt like, oh, it was working.
Right.
Once you get to a certain pounds loss or whatever, you have to work a little bit harder because your body starts to adapt and get used to what you have done.
Right.
There is no more initial shock.
Manny, could you do me a favor? Can you grab me that mozzarella cheese in the ramekin over there?
Okay.
The shredded cheese.
We are the shredded cheese. We are the chicken's done. So what we're gonna do now is the zucchini is pretty much done too.
Awesome.
So we are going to do some of this right now.
There you go.
Oh, we're gonna sauce it up.
Yeah, and then we're gonna cheese it, and then we're gonna bake it a little more to get that cheese melted on,
Okay.
and then it's just gonna bed the zucchini. And
Which is also, I've never seen spiralized zucchini, and I've never seen it cooked, but it looks like we're taking some of the, again, moisture out of there, letting that cook off a little bit, and it's looking pretty good. I can't wait to try it.
Zucchini pasta is really, really good. And
it teases you.
it does tease you, I'll say that much. But it's definitely better than taking off that regular pasta and everything like that if you do have some goals that you're trying to achieve. This is the way to get around it a little bit.
Yeah.
To make
Now
sure
there's
you're doing it
also, interestingly, there's some new pastas out. Quest is one of them. You know Quest bars? Quest has their own Quest pasta now.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, Cuesta.
Was it?
And
Was it
it's,
contained?
I've yet to dig into it.
Okay.
But Quest was nice enough to send us a box of protein powders and protein bars and a cookbook that we're going to do a review on their stuff. But I also saw in looking that they have a pasta. So I'm going to try to get my hands on some of their Quest pasta to see how it differentiates from regular pasta and how healthy it is. I mean,
please let me
if
know.
they're putting it out, it's got to be a healthier option.
Quest is one of the premium protein bars and everything like that. So
Yeah.
they do good products if you are into all that stuff. So I'm pretty interested to see how the pasta looks. That's a new step in fitness, definitely, and healthy eating too. So
What's your personal take on supplements and proteins and stuff like that?
honestly, I believe you can do it naturally with any food that you eat. You just got to do the research and know what you're eating and what you're putting into your body. So for myself, just to go back to the supplement thing, I do not take any supplements. I don't really do too much.
Right.
A lot of people have different perspective and miscommunication about supplements. For myself, I just want to see how my body reacts to the food that I have, and hopefully I get all the nutrition value from that.
Right.
But for other people that maybe do need some supplements or anything like that, people just need to know that it's not a meal replacement,
Right.
and that should really research of what you're taking first
Right.
and really know what it is. And for me, my golden rule is if you don't know everything on that label, the ingredients label, you shouldn't take it.
They don't take it. Yeah. Right.
To be honest.
And we don't mean on the flip side, sitting right behind you, max effort level.
Well, if you know everything about it, then that's different. But people need to do their research with it. And,
Right.
I believe you get everything from food.
So I've in the past when my history. At one point I was 300 pounds. I lost 100 pounds.
Congratulations again.
Thanks. Yeah. But then I got back up to 285, and now that's where I'm coming back down from again. So, but the first time that I did it very much like you said, all from just my foods and from when I was working out, I was teaching martial arts.
Yeah.
And I didn't do any supplements really. I had some vitamins. But I wasn't doing a lot of proteins and stuff. So I definitely have done it before that way.
Yeah.
This time around, I am trying some supplements, but like you said, keeping it very clean, keeping it, making sure that when you look at that label, there's not all kinds of junk on there. So,
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm trying both, but I think that my goal will be eventually to drop off the supplements and do it just like.
Yeah, it's easier to withstand, and it's also, if you're looking for cost efficient too, once you know what you actually need from that or what you was looking for and you could get it from food,
Right.
then you could just go big grocery shopping
Right,
and then
right.
call it a day instead of thinking I need this too, because it reminds me of medication, and
Right.
I believe that a lot of people don't need that many medication unless it's specific to what they really need or
Right.
their needs, but for the most part, I like to just beat it out with health every
Right.
which way. So
Right. So protein intake obviously is super important to overall health in general. I actually was just reading an article about this. And also to working out, whether you're trying to lose weight or put on mass, right?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't realize how much protein you actually have to eat. So what kinds of high protein foods are you putting in your diet if you're not taking supplements?
high protein foods. So if you're looking in the morning, I eat a lot of eggs. I mean, just whatever your preference is, but this is what mine is. So I eat a lot of eggs in the morning and everything, just to make sure I have some good protein when I wake up, with some carbs as well, some good oatmeals or anything like that. I definitely look for the ones that have less sugar involved in the oatmeal, but at the same time, I make my own oatmeal sometimes. Just take it from oats and blend it all up.
Yep.
And then for lunch, it's just really, for me, my main protein source is ground turkey. It's all lean protein, grilled chicken, any chicken breasts or anything like that. And then sometimes here and there I do throw in some red meat just for my iron and everything like that as well. So, and then just for my snacks, just to make sure I'm keeping up with my protein, is a lot of peanuts and everything like that. I wouldn't advise that if you have any allergies or anything like that. But at the same time, some peanuts, and then Greek yogurt, awesome source of protein and carbs as well. So to make sure everything just depends on the time of the day, whether it be the morning, breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Right.
So, so it's just researching and figuring out where are the proteins and everything like that. Quinoa's a great source of protein as well.
Quinoa's an
that
awesome
I feel like
source of
a lot of people don't know about.
I do add extra protein in the forms of protein powders. I am a little older than you, so I do supplement a few things to make up
Dad?
for. Yeah, it is. Could be. No, I do a test booster because at 50 years old, it is that point where, my testosterone. Even my doctor has said, my testosterone is starting to drop slightly.
Yeah, for the doctor advising it, then.
Yeah, so I do take a test booster. I pre-workout on the way in. I post-workout, which is glutamine and BCAAs through the whole workout. I protein immediately before I leave the gym just to get it in the muscles. First meal of the day, just like you, lots of eggs. I have eggs, but it's cool. They make it's a protein baking mix. So I can make pancakes, cookies, muffins, crepes, waffles, and all it is a mix of protein powder.
That's awesome.
It's a really cool replacement for like a Duncan Hines or an Aunt Jemima mix, and it's just clean protein. But I'm gonna have some pancakes this morning. It makes it a little more mentally fun for me.
Yeah.
But again, it's eggs, sausage, protein pancakes, and an avocado.
Yeah.
So that'll be that kind of meal.
And that's the thing with me too. Avocados is huge for me
Oh,
to make
love
sure that
avocados.
you're getting your omega-3s. If the people do not know out there, that
Eat your avocados.
that is something that your body does not produce, so you do need to intake it. So
Yes.
you do need to get some omegas some way or the other. You'll be surprised how many foods that you have actually have omegas in it too.
Also, I was just reading about this, and I've actually done some trainings on.
You've been doing a lot of reading lately.
I do. I actually do a lot of reading
like
all the
it.
time. I pretty much read all day long.
Yeah.
Good. Knowledge is
don't know
power.
this.
Knowledge is power.
But so omega-3s, like you said, your body doesn't produce omega-3s, and the typical American diet, I'll take a little, sure, is super high in omega-6, and those two things work together. So omega-6, I found this super interesting. That's why I'm sharing it with you guys. So your omega-6s are responsible for the inflammatory responses in your body, and which sometimes can be a great thing. If you get a cut, you need to swell up to stop the bleeding or whatever. You need to have some omega-6s to be able to do that. But our typical American diet is super high in omega-6s. The study that I read was something like 25 times the amount that we're supposed to actually have is in the average typical daily diet, right? The omega-6s are the things that you're going to find in your nuts and you find in your cheeseburgers and whatever else, right? But when you eat these
You never have a bad
omega-3s,
cheeseburger.
when you eat your omega-3s,
Kidding.
not only does it help to keep those two things in balance, but it also actually, I guess, effectively reduces the amount of omega-6s that you hold in your body. I guess. Again, I'm not a professional. Look it up, read it. But long story short, omega-3 super underrated, not underrated, known to people, you know,
Yes.
and you gotta have it fit. You gotta get them in there.
Helps with your joints, everything like that. I like to think of omega-3s as something that just makes everything stick together. So everybody knows about your proteins, everybody knows about your carbs.
Right.
What about those good fats? And people, as soon as you say fat, they don't want to take
Right.
it. But those good fats have everything stick. Maybe make it go a little bit smoother throughout your body and everything like
Right.
that. That's why I feel like omegas do. And I actually could kind of be one of the tests of it. I used to not take as many omega-3s until I went into college, and I actually had chia seeds, flax seeds, and I'll put them in like my little smoothie that I make. And that made a huge difference with me performing on the field and everything like that, because my joints felt good and everything else felt like connected. So I was like, what was the difference? And the only difference was taking those, having that omega-3 intake.
Yeah.
So it is crucial. Please look it up. Please do your research, especially with omega-6s and omega-3s, to see how much, and then ask your doctor too. As well.
Yeah, definitely.
Something else we spoke of the other day is magnesium, which I've now, as of yesterday, started taking, because I get a lot of muscle cramps. I unfortunately have that some kind of issue where I tear my calves a lot, and it's just the way my calves are. And somebody brought it up to us. I think it was Mike, wasn't it, at CrossFit Kells?
No, I think
Was it Fit Body on Thursday?
I think it was Fit.
Was it Fit Body on Thursday? That was Leon then. And he asked me if I was taking magnesium, and I said, actually, no, I'm not. And he goes, that's why you're getting muscle cramps. So it's things that your body needs that you don't think about on a regular basis, and depending on your diet, you're not getting them. So it's either find a supplement or change your diet to add in the things and the foods that will give them to you.
Also, treat your body too. So the number one thing I'll go to if I heard something like that would say, how much are you hydrating? You know, that would be
Right,
my number
which
one
for
thing.
me it's
So I know you are. And then the second thing is, how much are you treating your body after you do these workouts? Are you foam rolling? Are you stretching on a daily? Because you want to see everything, what your body's giving you that alarm before you want to put anything into it, especially not knowing what it's going to react to sometimes. So if you tackle all those and then go see your doctor and it says something like that, then I understand then.
Yeah, for
But
me,
you got to make sure you treat your body. A lot of people.
A lot of it for me is scar tissue. I have scar striations in my
deep tissue
in my
massages.
gastrocnemius, and so when they get overstretched, they tear again.
So
And I had a calf scrub done once. You ever have one of those? You want to be a grown man who cries like a baby? Go get a calf scrub done.
But you feel amazing
Oh,
afterwards.
ridiculous! 2 days later, it was like I had brand new legs.
Yeah, exactly.
But it was the most painful hour of my life.
So that's a great point. After your workouts, making sure you're foam rolling and stretching, which is something that I had
And
never
hydrating.
done before.
Yes.
Does make a huge difference.
Makes a
So-
huge difference. I tell everybody, you're here to, change your body so much. You're here to basically abuse your body and make it adapt to where you want it to be, but treat your body sometimes. And
People don't stretch either.
They don't stretch.
Well, I watch people walk into the gym and get right on a machine. They haven't hydrated. Their water bottle is still full. You can see through their water bottle is still full. They haven't stretched. They came in out of the car and got right on a machine. I'm like, wow, that's a recipe for just something going wrong.
Yeah, and then a lot of people that do that come in and just say, I'm in a funk.
Yeah.
And it's
And then
because
you
they
see them
didn't
get
their
off
heart
the
rate up.
machine and just get their stuff from a locker and walk out.
Yes.
They don't stretch or do anything afterwards either.
Yes.
And it's just there's a lot of pieces to a puzzle for working out. It's not just getting in and moving. It's preparing, and then it's maintenance afterwards. The cool down is one of the most important parts of what you do in the gym. If you don't warm up and cool down, you're doing a big disservice to your workout, because functionality-wise, your body is not going to you're not going to see the adaptations you want because you're not prepping or letting your body recover properly.
Yes, and that's the number one thing I do in all my classes.
Yeah.
I have group training as well as one-on-ones, but in the group training aspect, I make sure they do not leave without stretching. I'll at least say, like, take the 5 minutes out of our class or right after our class just to stretch, because most people won't do it at home.
Right.
So if they take the time during the workout or immediately after the workout, they might do it. And then I say, if you really feel completely sore the next day, foam roll. Just get that, break up that tissue and everything like that. What
Yeah.
you're saying.
I have one downstairs. It's part of the routine for me. And I foam roll in the gym, foam roll out of the gym.
Yep. And then
And we have to get you into that routine.
Rolling into the gym like
I come through the door like this. Ready? Got caught right between us.
I'm sorry.
That's gonna look good for editing later.
But I think the prep work is the biggest thing. So I know
Yeah.
after we've been through an assessment with you and health questionnaires, and we're ready to go now. A lot of people are anxious to go, but say it's in the morning or something like that, they forget to have breakfast. And that's a big thing that I see a lot is they fatigue a lot quicker, and all of a sudden they're ready to go and everything like that. They're working out, and then probably 10 minutes into it, you could just see that it drains them so much. And then I do ask them, what did you eat? And a lot of people say, I didn't have time to eat. Fruits, vegetables at that time. Prepare something. That's that preparation right there. Eat something an hour before you come in, just to make sure you have enough energy, because it actually is diminishing.
And there's so
workout.
many options. I want to show you one of these. This is a fun little thing. If we still have one, we started having these in the house.
There you go.
You want to talk about a quick little on the go?
Perfect.
I don't have time to make breakfast, but I need to eat.
Yeah.
Apples, grapes, a little bit of cheese. The flatbread, maybe you could do without. It's not going to bother you. 4 grams of protein. There's some carbs in there.
Right.
The carbs will give you that morning kick to get going. You know, we talk about the fact that people, I got to get away from carbs. Got to away from carbs. Carbs are not the enemy. It's when and what you eat of
Yes.
carbs is the enemy.
Yes.
And we talk about it all the time. About people have a bagel and then go sit at their desk. Well, you just ate a really bad carb that's looking to do something, and you're giving it nothing.
Yeah.
So it's not, something like that where it's apples and it's great. That is gonna. There's no excuse you can't eat that even on the way to the gym.
Exactly. That is perfect. You got to have something. You just have to have something. And a lot of people say that they don't have time to do it, but then also when you come to the gym, you are performing less to your capability now because you don't have the energy to do so. So you're there to burn energy. You don't have energy to burn energy. So then today is kind of a wash or a maintaining day.
Correct.
Yeah.
So just definitely be prepared for that one. It's big for a lot of my members that come out and work for the first time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then knowing your body. Knowing your body, when to push and everything like that is huge for a lot of people. If they do not know when to push, sometimes you can't adapt. You can't change your body if you don't know if you're pushing it to a certain limit too.
Right.
So knowing where your limit is also crucial because you don't want to go past it. But at the same time, you do want to get to a target heart rate or something like that if you're for weight loss or something like
Yeah.
that.
And you'll find your different goal levels. Like there'll be a point where you want to go past it, but not in the beginning. In the beginning, you need to get to a place where everything's functional.
Comfortable too.
Yeah.
Comfortable.
And then you'll find that place down the road 6, 7, 8 months in where you want to start pushing boundaries.
Right.
Yeah.
Where everything's clicking. You've lost the weight. You want to now step the game up, so to speak. Well, I wonder how far can I run 11 miles?
Yeah.
That's pushing a boundary. That's pushing a big boundary. But that's a step by step. How long did it take you from first day out the door to 11 miles?
2 months maybe, and it's just consistency. Definitely of just waking up and saying, hey, Saturday mornings is my morning to run, or Sunday mornings is my morning to run. I get up and run and say, it's running. I feel like once you do have everything clicking and everything like that, don't get me wrong, if you don't feel comfortable with it, it's not going to click like this.
Yeah.
But if you do feel comfortable, it's just a mentality at that point of trying to push through it, and I'll wake up and say, you can do at least a half a mile more,
Yeah.
And what's the difference between a half mile compared to what the mile that you did before? Not too much, other than just trying to push yourself, because now you know your body. I know exactly when I'm starting to fatigue, so I know when my rest periods are going to be, and then when I'm going to push through it as well.
Well,
This looks phenomenal.
it is. It does. Looks great.
We're almost out of time. I'm excited to eat this thing.
Oh, you don't actually get to eat today.
Oh.
You get to learn. I'm going to actually hold this
Just get
chest.
a snippet.
So, we want to thank you. You're going to put shake with us?
Yes.
We want to thank you for coming to the Fit Show today.
Well, thank you guys for inviting me.
That's what it's all about, man. It's every week we try to bring some more knowledge, a new point of view. Hey, and some more knowledge and a new point of view to people who may not be thinking in that way. And it's not that they're thinking right or wrong. They're just not thinking that way. Like, I never thought of that. That's what we're trying to do every week, is just another piece of a puzzle. We're all growing together. We're all learning together. Having someone like you come in with your knowledge and your skill set is great for everybody who gets to watch this. So thanks for taking the time, man. Do appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
Yeah, and
for inviting
I gotta sit and talk with you because I'm kind of hitting my wall now.
me. Yes.
My weight loss is done, and I'm like,
I can help you.
how much more can I crush myself? Come on.
Yeah. No,
So we gotta talk.
I can definitely help you. Thank you guys once again for inviting me. The last thing I would say to everybody is just some things to think about when you are going to the gym. Be consistent.
Yes.
Be true to yourself. And also, don't try to change too much of what you're doing, and just try to do it the healthy version way. And there are people out here, just like myself, that are willing to help you any day of your life. Just come out and reach out to us. Do not be shy, because we know that we are here to help, and that's what we're here for. So,
There you go.
thank you guys.
All right. People, thanks for watching this week on The Fit Show.
Thanks
for
again,
coming
Nantucket
back.
Vineyards.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Nantucket Vineyards, our awesome sponsor. We'll see you guys next week. Stay safe.
Isn't this what I wanted after all? Why are you back here when I just got right to the place that's clear? And now it's not so bright and